Look at her.
Oh, Christian.
Yes.
That's Christian Louboutin.
Yes, look at him. I mean, and now your closet of Christian Louboutins is legendary.
It's kind of is.
I mean, it's down. Sometimes you're like, what will I do today?
I got peacock blue Louboutins.
Ooh, I didn't even get to look at those, honey. Please get a shot of the shoes, darling. Every bottom is red in the collection for Dita, honey. She's not having a blue bottom; it's a red bottom. Now, when you went on that first blind date with him, have you been on many situations where a designer's like, I would like to meet her? I mean, did you ever do that with Karl Lagerfeld? He's like, come here, Dita, we'll come.
No, it doesn't happen all the time. I feel like it's just certain people, and I'm not friends with like all these designers. There's just a few people that I feel like we're birds of a feather,
right?
You know? And I love Christian because he's kind of one of those people. He doesn't suffer fools, you know. He doesn't. He's not like a star fucker. He's like talk about throwing shade. He can throw some shade.
Yeah.
He's very much, he doesn't care who's fame. You know, a lot of times actresses will be like, how do you get all those free shoes? I'm like, because he makes people pay, you know? He's like, he likes who he likes. He has his favorite girls, and they're not all, you know, famous Oscar-winning actresses. He just likes eccentric people. He's eccentric.
I love to imagine a Christian Louboutin shade festival at Cannes or wherever the heck the two of you were at.
Yes, we could throw some shade together for sure.
Now that's the shadiest kind of shade, glamour shade, honey,
Shade
from Dita and Christian.
Packs, yeah. A pair of shade throwers.
Pair of shade throwers. That's like your superhero identity. Shade thrower and Louboutin. Bring it. Look at him.
Oh, Catherine.
Catherine. Now this is your friend and one of your main collaborators.
Catherine Delish. We've known each other since like 1999 or 2000. And, you know, if there was ever someone that I saw as like a mentor and someone that I, you know, really honor and think is responsible for so many great moments in my career, it's her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you guys still get to work together?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. She's on the tour with me.
Okay, so you get to kind of still continue to create and make the visions.
She's a great teacher. She also makes she started this business of making these big fluffy marabou trimmed robes that all these girls are buying these extravagant robes with like 4-foot trains and feathers everywhere. It's like her funny little side business. We never knew that all these housewives would want to buy these feather robes anyway.
Love it.
So she's got a great business going.
Catherine, I think Lady Red thinking she needs a big feather robe, honey.
I already talked to Raja about it. She has one.
Awesome. All right, look at home. Okay, we just thought you might actually have some shade to throw.
Only because they threw so much shade at me when that movie came out.
They did?
Yes, like I remember reading the press and over it'd be like, this isn't that tawdry stripper burlesque like Dita. This is, you know, real burlesque. And I was like, I guess you have your facts mistaken. Like they just couldn't show that. They couldn't call that movie Cabaret because that name was already taken. So, like it's a song and dance. It's like a song and dance thing. It's like stripper. It made me upset because at the time, you know, there were still a lot of these old burlesque stars around, and there still are. But you know, they were excited about a movie about burlesque, and they're saying this isn't that stripper burlesque. It's like, well, it's a fact that the burlesque shows in America, the headliners were striptease stars, like Gypsy Rose Lee, all the rest of them. So it's like to try to rewrite history and to bring kind of like the strippers down, like the women that made it possible for people like me, and for a word like burlesque to become a buzzword to be a movie made of. I'm glad you found something I could throw shade at.
Me too, Dita.
What he's gonna find that's gonna.
You know what? Our staff is real good at squeezing at least a little shade out.
Mind you, the shade isn't towards Cher.
No, sure.
Or Christina.
Sure, they were just doing their thing.
Yeah.
Not that great. They didn't do it that great.
And they both come out now and they're like, you know, when they were like, this is such a great movie, and now they're like, what movie about burlesque?
What burlesque movie? I sure love Dita. Oh, thank you for the shade. That was delicious. Let me just. Tasted good, Dita. Look at her. Prince.
Oh, God, I
Now, I know you met him and you were very nervous, right?
I have so many good Prince stories.
You do? Give me even any of them.
I mean, well, one of my favorites is when I first met him, and I was with my friend Fatima Robinson, who's this great choreographer.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Fatima?
Yeah.
And we were at a club, and she's like, actually, we weren't there yet, but she calls me. She's like, girl, you got to get out of bed. We got to go out. Prince is at da-da-da. He wants to see us. So we go, and it's like me and her and like 2 other girls. And he was kind of upset with the DJ wasn't playing music that he liked. He kept asking for music, and he's like, I don't have that. So he's like, hey, do you want to go to my house and have scrambled eggs? Which I think is odd because he's a vegan. He wasn't vegan, but still it was scrambled eggs. And we were like, yeah. So we go to his house, and he put, I had the scrambled eggs. But I discovered quickly you're not allowed to swear. You weren't allowed to swear around Prince or anything like that. And anyway, we went into his big like theater. He had like a theater room, and he had his concert footage, and it was like me and him and 3 other girls dancing to his concert footage, and it was the best because I love people that like to dance and party to their own music and their self.
My gosh.
So that was just like there's lots of Prince moments, but that was one of them. And there was one moment I feel like maybe there could have been an opportunity for a threesome, and we'll never know, Really? It was like, oh God, I would have.
It was like, Dita, we're gathered here together to do something called the threesome.
In another time.
Right.
Another time. But yeah, lots of good Prince stories.
That was also delicious threesome, Dita. Oh.
Yeah.
The threesome tea. All right. Look at her.
Sean Paul
Gaultier.
I mean, he's one of the funniest people ever, and just those late night fittings like for the couture shows, and Mr. Pearl, who makes all the corsets for the couture lacing in. I mean, just so many great late nights.
Stepping into that universe, that couture, Paris, atelier type of thing, like, what is that like when you first go in there? Like when you were tipping down into the archives.
It's like a dream come true. It's just seeing like all of these people at work and the artistry of it and the lavishness and like just the, $100,000 dress being made. It's really crazy.
And just these little French ladies and these every hand stitch.
In white coats, all in the white coats, the little glasses, and really amazing.
Monsieur would like this and Monsieur would like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's all this like protocol and everything. It's amazing. And he's so funny and clever and just...
What's one of your favorite moments with Gaultier? I mean, I bet he likes to go out in the town and have a little glass of champ.
I know what it is. I took him... Have you ever been to Dallas? Have you ever been to a place called The Roundup, which is like a country line dancing
No, I have not. It's a gay country line dancing bar?
I took him there into like a weird roadhouse like bar with like neon signs and dollar beers, and with all the ladies that work on the couture that were there.
They were there too at the Roundup?
Some of them. They had like the few that were the head of the couture because they were doing what was it, like an exhibit of his work, and they were there to like retouch the clothes, and it was great. It was a very fine moment, and me wearing like an amazing Gaultier gown and us dancing together on the dance floor. We had the time of our lives. He knows how to have a good time.
Look at her.
Oh, another favorite,
the classic.
Yeah, Betty Grable. I mean, there's probably no other 40s movie star I'm more inspired by. I know I don't try to look like her, emulate her really in an obvious way, but it's like she was one of my favorites. Like a song and dance girl, those 40s Technicolor musicals are the stuff that, really shaped the way that I grew up, because those were my first experiences with watching an old movie when I was little. It was Betty Grable movies because else she'd be like in movies with Carmen Miranda, who is so larger than life, and she's my favorite.
Now, was Betty Grable one of your mom's favorites, or when did you you were like a kid when you were watching these, right?
My mom just loved old movies, so she'd put whatever's on, but I feel like that was my first like experience with like Technicolor 40s glamour, where I was like, what's this? Because it was like a cartoon, It's so beautiful, it's so otherworldly, and her with that blonde hair and the, blue eyeshadow and the red lips, and she was also, I liked her as a person too. Like when I read about her, she seemed to be really like a no-nonsense girl, like a likable girl, but kind of swore and liked to gamble and liked to drink and smoke, but was not too bad. She wasn't like a, really super boozy.
Like many of those 40 stars were, darling, super boozy.
Nobody had anything bad to say about her either. Everyone loved her.
A true inspiration.
Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look